Hello, everyone. I love being here in Manchester with you all. This is my first time in Manchester.
Is it your first time?
Yeah.
Wow. Tell us how the fan interactions have been going so far, because I know you've been very busy.
I have had so much fun. I mean, it's such a joy to meet people who've either grown up with certain projects.
Yes.
And, you know, there are a lot of things that I've done that, interestingly, in pop culture, that have, like, stood the test of time in an interesting way through different changes in the culture, too. So I've been doing this a long time. I love what I do. And I've been doing it since I was a kid and really...
When did you start? How young?
I started modeling when I was 9, but dancing was always the big love.
Yep.
And then like 17 dance lessons a week.
Wow.
Which I've been able to use in my other work from time to time.
Yeah.
We can't mention
we won't be specific, but a lot of what you've done has become like cult classics, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so then I started modeling at 9 and acting around 13, doing stage. But I lived in Michigan, very far from Hollywood, and I didn't have any connections. I didn't have a famous uncle or aunt or someone to help. It's just through blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of hard work, and the belief from my parents. Yeah.
And were they always very supportive of those dreams? Yeah.
Very supportive. They always took my dreams seriously. It was just a matter of time and how to get there, really.
Did you think you'd end up more in the dance space of things or more in the acting space? Did you have a preference?
I really wanted to use all of it.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, Broadway at first was a big dream, because then I could sing, dance, and act.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of that, and London theater as well. You guys know Eddie Izzard? So Eddie and I starred in the West End in a show that Sir Peter Hall directed, just bringing and sharing the love for my Brits.
What's that vibe like? I'm assuming it's a lot different than, say, film or TV. We were just talking to Clive Standen about how his background in theater, it was like every time he did a performance, he could then improve the next night because it's a different audience. How's that vibe?
When you're doing stage, you're doing 8 shows a week. So there's always something new to try that next day, or some days you have like 2 shows a day. And film, especially if it's a smaller film, you have got to get it in 2 takes.
Yeah.
And then TV, you're in front of a studio audience, and sometimes there's no audience.
Yeah.
So you really feed off of the energy of an audience in both live theater and when you're filming, and lucky enough to have people there, especially if you're doing a comedy.
Yeah. Obviously, I grew up watching you. I was just explaining backstage as I'm fangirling. My husband's like, I've never seen you like this. It's embarrassing. So I'll apologize. But I was saying that I was homeschooled. So to watch a program where there were kids, at school was very exciting for me. And I feel like I kind of grew up with that entire vibe. So tell us about of that part of your life and maybe your castmates as well.
Yeah, I mean, I am still such good friends with Mario, Tiffany, Mark Paul. I mean, we are like siblings, really. Like, we were 15 when we met, and we've grown up together. We're now parents together. We have our kids know each other. It's like it's a family, and really, really special. And our dreams started coming true together. It was our first big job for all of us, and we really were the age we were playing.
That never happens anymore, does it?
No. Usually they're 25 playing 15.
Like Grease. Remember?
Right.
Everyone's 50 and they're playing 16-year-olds? Yeah.
Exactly.
We did notice that, yes. Well, I have to, again, fangirl over something that it's not obscure by any means, but there's a movie that my sisters and it's like our religion. It's a movie that you did with Goldie and Bette and Diane.
Yes.
Tell us about that experience.
Well, Goldie Hawn, Bette Midler, and Diane Keaton are geniuses. Comedic geniuses, and women who have been through every high and low in the industry.
Yeah.
So for me to get to not only meet them, but collaborate with them was a dream come true, for sure.
It's one of my favorites, for sure. I'm wondering who's actually seen the film, because there are some, really youngsters in the audience. Yes. I will ask you, though, because I'm fangirling, I'm going to have to put it back on you. Is there anyone that you've met at this Comic-Con or any other event where you were starstruck? An actor, a musician?
Well, honestly, speaking of Greece, I met John Travolta at a past Comic-Con. We were one table away from each other, and I'm sorry, he's incredible, brilliant, and being a dancer myself, I was like dreaming of some number we could do in a movie someday,
Was he just lovely? Was he very warm?
Absolutely lovely. A class act, a generous soul, kind, all the things you would think that John Travolta would be.
And as far as your fan base, because hello, I mean, what you've done has spanned generations and it's globally recognized and adored, including the fans here in Manchester. What are your fan interactions like? Is there a specific age genre, or is it sort of everything and everyone?
That's such a good question. It really spans, like you said, it's multi-generational because, I'm trying to think the best way to put it. It's multi-generational, which is actually really special. Either things have meant a great deal to people in a symbolic way with regards to their childhood. And I think, childhood is such a special time in all of our lives. And, to be a part of something creative that had an impact and was entertaining or meaningful emotionally, or where there were connections made through that, those are core memories. And so it's something I take seriously. It's something that's meaningful to me when I interact with fans, because I know it has meant a lot. Not just entertainment, if that makes sense. And then, I love, when we do projects, we do them to entertain you and tell stories that maybe it's a different narrative in the character's life, but still has an impact emotionally.
Yeah.
To let someone know they're not alone in going through something. So it's one of the things I love about acting.
Yeah. And the characters that we see, especially when we're growing up, like you said, those formidable years, we start to feel like we know all of you guys, right? So,
Right.
My husband and I have watched, Tiffany in White Collar, and I'm so proud of Mario Lopez for doing all of the presenting work that he does so well. But do fans come up to you and say that they feel like they know you? And if they do,
Definitely.
what's that like?
It's okay, because the sweetness of Saved by the Bell, that show holds something really dear to people. Yeah. And so there's something comforting about that show. But I think everyone has different memories associated with it. Yeah. So it's also why I think it's important. I want to protect and preserve that for people.
And as far as being a mom, you mentioned a lot of your actor friends are also parents now. Are your kids fazed by it? Are their kids fazed by it? Or is it just like, mom's off to work again, dad's off to work?
I think it's so normal, right? I know that for a lot of my friends, Mark Paul and Mario and Tiffany, who also have children, they all know each other, and it's just normal. It's what they've grown up with, so it's not anything special to them.
They don't know any different.
No,
I do love to hear
exactly.
that. Well, guys, we're going to ask you to come up and ask a few questions if you'd like. We're just, again, not going to be specific to any particular project or character name, because we are all supporting the ongoing strikes. If you want to have a question, come on up over to the microphone here. Don't be shy. Another question from me, though. We talked about being starstruck at these conventions. Is there any time you've had a reunion with castmates? Or like even at this one, do you know any of the other actors that you're familiar with?
I know a couple actors, Zachary and Seth, Jake, a few people, it's just always fun, because in our industry, unless you're on a job with someone, it's hard to keep up with people. We're all traveling around the world, working, and it's like definitely like high school reunions.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yay. All right, we've got a question here in the front row. Love that shirt.
Hi.
Hi. My question to you, Elizabeth, is if you got asked to reprise your role as Naomi Malone, would you?
I would be interested. It would have to tell the right story.
Yeah.
I agree.
He agrees.
Some things you want to just leave because you feel you're complete with it.
Yeah.
Because that certain project was, as I said to you earlier, is one of my all-time favorites.
Yay.
Yes.
So I do agree with you. The story would have to be told correctly.
Right.
Yeah. No, because otherwise, to revisit anything, you want to do it justice.
Yeah. And so many times it doesn't happen, right? You're like, why did they mess with that?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I know I get annoyed when I see something I loved and they pick it up where it left off or try to redo it and it just doesn't land.
No. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
If I can interject with a question, talking about franchises and things that have lots of sequels, Mission Impossible, Star Wars, what sort of franchise do you follow or do you like anything like that? Harry Potter? Ones that have several
I would say Harry Potter.
Yeah.
My son is a big Harry Potter fan, so I am now one.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go.
Lovely. Thank you. Come on up.
Hi, Lizzie, again.
Hi there.
So my question for you is, this might be a difficult one. Out of all the roles you portrayed over your years, which would you say is the most memorable one?
Good question. Trying to think.
There's just too many,
You know
I'm
what?
sure.
I will tell you that on stage, there's a role that I did with opposite Ethan Hawke.
All right.
And it was on Broadway, and that was truly one of my most memorable. It's unfortunate that stage is not captured on film forever, but it was at the Queen's Theatre on Shaftesbury and in the West End, and obviously being here, I'm sorry, that one was on Broadway, but I'm thinking about another one with Eddie Izzard. We did the Lenny Bruce story at the Queen's Theatre on Shaftesbury, and so I think a couple of my theater experiences have really been so powerful. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Love your jacket. How was Ethan Hawke, by the way? What a talent.
Ethan is incredible. I jumped in and had 3 days to learn the role. They were replacing someone that was originally cast. And I had to memorize it all and learn the blocking and jump right in. And it was a lot, but he was a brilliant scene partner, as you can imagine, for those of you who are fans of Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, great expectations. He's done so many amazing things.
Yeah.
Come on up.
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm just wondering, what advice would you have for someone aspiring to be an actor or like to perform as be it on stage or on film or television? What advice would you give to someone aspiring to work towards that field?
Well, I think in a time where a lot of people are not really serious about the craft and doing their training, the one thing I would say is it's important. A lot of people try to get by just, let's say, being a personality on YouTube or Instagram, and that can only take you so far. I would say to truly embrace the craft and take scene study classes and also work on and possibly even write your own things, because it's empowering to not just be at the behest of other people, to say when the time is right for an opportunity for you, to really build and create your own opportunities. If it's something that someone might have a gift for writing or may not know yet, but to really give it a try, I think is really important in this day and age, because you can get noticed in so many different ways. But at the end of the day, the technique that you have from classes will carry you through anything, no matter what medium, stage, TV, or film, no matter what type of project, no matter what time period. Having that is the thing that sustains it and gives longevity to a career.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Great advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, round of applause for that advice. I'm telling you, it's like we've had acting masterclasses all day. Everyone's been so giving in what they've been saying. Yeah, I hope you guys are writing this down. I've got a question here from this lovely lady.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
I hope I'm allowed to say this, but you are very beautiful in real life.
Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. My question for you is, do you have any future projects coming up that you're allowed to talk about?
I know that I can't talk about that here, and I wish I could.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I would, believe me, soon.
Okay. Well, I've got a follow-up question. You said this is your first time in Manchester.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying it?
I love it. The people are so friendly, genuine, and I really appreciate that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy.
Hi there. Hi, Power Ranger.
Hello. What was your favourite weird film you worked on?
What's your favorite weird film you worked on? Do you have any weird gigs that you've had that you thought, this is weird?
It's a good question. I'm just trying to think.
I'm not sure if we can name them specifically. I don't think we're allowed to name anything specific.
I'm trying to think. How about a skill I've had to learn that I didn't know how to do was horseback riding. It's not weird, but I only had a couple days to learn how to do it and make it look like I had been doing it my whole life. So that's something about movie magic that is kind of wild. Whether it's fencing or stunts or a new skill you have to learn because that character is so good at it, you have to work hard to make something look like it's been a part of you all along. Is that interesting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take 2 more questions and then we'll let her get back to the autographs and photo ops. Because you've been busy. You've got a lot of fans here in Manchester.
Busy. I love it. I love it.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
So my question for you is, have you got any good anecdotes about working with Carl at Clocklan?
Oh my goodness. Well, he's a very supportive scene partner. Good human. Unfortunately, he's not here. I was looking forward to a little bit of a reunion, but I see him from time to time in Los Angeles, so it's always nice when you get to bump into an old friend. Yeah, he's a good guy, and he takes the work seriously, and I appreciate that because I come with my A game, and it's nice when you have a scene partner who does the same.
Thank you.
Great question. Thank you. All right, no pressure. It's our final question.
I know. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
So there's a film that you did in the 90s, won't mention it. You kind of got a lot of backlash after it. Kind of Hollywood kind of were really nasty to you.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, how has your relationship with that movie changed over the years, and kind of have you found peace with that?
Yes, thank you. We all go through things in life that different trials and tribulations. Some, in that case, were public. Mm-hmm. Some are personal. So I think nobody goes unscathed. We all have to overcome. For me, actually, I was speaking to someone, a wonderful fan, just how both the role I played and the personal part of my journey, and I say part of the journey because it's not something I struggle with now. Mm-hmm. It's been a piece of it, but we all are given tests of faith and moments to rise or not rise, and I chose to rise. And now it's interesting that has been cemented as
It has its own little
a
space in
cult
history.
film that people love.
Yeah.
So the lesson to that is you never know, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Great question. Thank you for being so polite.
And I'm proud of it. So thank you.
And we're certainly proud of it. We love your work. Just a final question for me. We're talking about, backlash and fame and things like that. You, on your social media, yes, I'm lightly stalking her, of course. You keep everything very positive, and you let people get a little glimpse into your life. But what are your thoughts on social media? Tedious or helpful, harmful?
Well, I bet we all kind of feel the same way. It's like a love-hate with it. It's I love it because it is one way to keep up on certain people we admire or love, or it's an easy way to stay in touch, or it's just fun too, and learn and explore new things. But sometimes I don't like it. I think it's a distraction from just daily living, and so for that reason I sometimes just wish we didn't have it anymore. I just think we can get too caught up in, did I post today? Should I post today? It should just be if you feel moved to do so,
And obviously, you guys need to be following Elizabeth Berkley on social media to keep up with all of her amazing work. Any final words for your fans here in Manchester?
Oh, just my gratitude to you all, and thank you for supporting my work all these years, and can't wait for you to see a lot of great things to come. Thank you.
Manchester, keep it going for Elizabeth Berkley.